You think that's funny, do you?
Round the Twist, the show that messed up an entire generation of Australians that just wanted to watch something that wasn't repeats of Family Matters. Ugh. I've spoken about Round the Twist before, but to recap, Round the Twist was a show that ran for 4 seasons throughout the 90s and followed the shenanigans of the Twist family who lived in a lighthouse. And by shenanigans, I mean things like malpregnancy and a fish that made a child's penis spin like a propeller and he used it to win swimming races. Like I said, it messed up an entire generation. As one of the greatest pieces of Australian media, I'm going to honour it by seeing every strange thing that happens when I go round the twist. And by that I mean I'm gonna look at all the episodes and make some jokes. Welcome to the Round the Twist Roundup. The episode literally opens with a skeleton taking a shit. First shot of the first episode of a series, ladies and gentlemen. Just dumped on the screen like that. Welcome to Round the Twist. How does a skeleton shit? Like, I understand if it was gonna like hang a piss, then like bone broth would come out, but how does a skeleton poo? We're introduced to the Twist family completely disregarding any sense of road safety. 4 people in the front of the car with no seatbelts. The only way that this would be more Australian were if Bronson were tied to the back of the ute with an ocky strap. They're singing Twist and Shout because they're the Twists. The Beatles are gonna sue their ass. This is too wholesome. If this were my family, we'd be screaming and fighting. Oh, his leg's touching mine. Oh, he farted. And then we'd be getting threats like, I want to turn this car around and go back home if you don't stop your shit. Look at the dad, he's there like, if you don't harmonise with me, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Actually, Bronson does end up fighting in the car, which puts them off their music immediately. Man, I predicted that shit, hey. Like, it's good to see my sense of humour hasn't progressed since I watched this show as a 5-year-old. The family is relocating from the city to a lighthouse, which is honestly the poorest housing decision anyone could make. Just endless fucking stairs with an outhouse. Australia didn't discover indoor plumbing until the year 2013. Until that point, it was either shit in an outhouse or a spider's nest. Sometimes they were one and the same. Pete mentions that there are no girls for miles, and then, almost as if to answer his prayers, Nell, the former lighthouse keeper, shows up. Starting a seasons-long will they, won't they romance arc that unfortunately never gets resolved.
There's something weird about that Dunny.
Yeah, funny Dunny.
Jokey John.
Loony Loo.
Spooky dookie.
It's not funny.
Now you know where I get my sense of humour from. Then the fucking goon squad show up, bunch of dickheads, and just charge into the house and start interfering with shit. Yeah, go on, put it in your mouth, dickhead. They tell Bronson about Dead Ned, a guy who died taking a shit on the very same toilet Bronson laid his cheeks on earlier. Talk about a bloody brush with the afterlife. I wonder if the seat was cold. But then it's worse if the seat was warm, especially if you live alone. Of course, after hearing about this, Bronson has absolutely zero interest in taking a shit in an outhouse that's nestled precariously above a cliff face. A few hours later, Bronson is taking a dump when he notices he's being watched. It scares the shit out of him. A few minutes later, Linda decides it's her turn to drop some friends off at the pool, and while she's blasting ass, the pervy ghost decides he isn't done for the night. Imagine watching this show in the 90s and just turning it off after this point. Like, nah, pervert ghost watching kids poop. I've had enough.
I'm gonna write a letter, because it's the 90s, and there is nothing better to do. I'm the kind of person who takes 24 packets of toilet paper.
The same thing actually happened to me though, and I'll give you the red hot tip, it is not as fun as this show makes it out to be. Hello. So Bronson and Linda tell the son from the nanny about the sleazy spirit, and he's like, well, I gotta bloody get down there and have a bloody look for myself. So he's sitting there and he starts doing this annoying shit. Stop it! It's yuck! Then the ghost rocks up and he just flings his fucking dentures down the dunny. That's what you get for sucking on your dentures in the dunny, you dingus. They managed to get his grotty tooth back by going to the local sewage plant. It's so rural Australia that they can just do that. Also, not wearing helmets.
Beef stew for dinner.
Yummy.
Bang, hard cut to lightning storm. Because the kids are such a tight-knit family, they decide to take a 3-way deuce and wait for the ghost of Pervert's past to show up. And wouldn't you know it, he does, by way of destroying their fucking toilet. Turns out that he stole a painting years earlier and he wanted to show the kids where it was. Why did he have to wait until they were shitting to do that? Like, wait till they're eating alphabetic spaghetti and then rearrange the letters or something. I don't know. Then he flashes some gang signs and flies away. Like, get fucked, nerds. And that was the first episode of Round the Twist. It all started here with a ghost that liked to watch people poop. No wonder my generation is cooked. I do take issue with the title though. It's called Skeleton on the Dunny, and there's no skeletons to be seen. What they should have called it was The Fecal Phantasm, or The Soul on the Bowl, or Pooptergeist. Man, I should be the one to write the reboot. Netflix, come at me. Netflix, come at me. I will play an adult Bronson. So thanks for watching the Round the Twist Roundup. If you want more Round the Twist, check out my old video that I did on it. Thanks to Casp, Scrib and Spudjester for helping me out with this video. They're bloody wonderful. Give them a big kiss for me. Mwah. Write in the comments, Casp, Scrib and Spudjester, big kisses to you to let them know they're appreciated. Okay, bye. Oh God.